Oh.
People are gonna send them in general, but I guess the first thing we're gonna do is go over like our experience. Me, I've competed 3 years, from 2015 to now. I'm still competing. Next year I'll be competing in the open division. Uh,
What a dedicated middle schooler.
Nice home phone.
okay,
All right,
who's
please be
next?
quiet when people are talking.
Should be already next.
Huh? Me? What am I supposed to say?
Yeah.
You were supposed to
Uh,
How long
introduce
have you
yourself.
competed?
Oh, right. Okay. Hey, I'm Artie, but people call me Oats because I really like eating oatmeal. I've been competing.
No.
This is my second year now, and lighthouse to you.
Okay. Hi, I'm Lighthouse 64. I've been competing since CyberPatriot 9. And I started at like a summer camp and then I could just continued. And yep, I do multi OS.
So that's Windows, Linux, and Cisco.
Yes.
Okay, who's next?
should be Mr.
Anybody?
Robot. Mr. Robot, alright. Yeah, I'm Mr. Robot. I competed just last year, and I did decently well, and I specialize on as Windows.
All right.
Oh, rip, we didn't get any finalists.
Oh yeah, we don't have any national finalists. That's unfortunate. But next year we will. Hey, hey.
All right.
Kyle would be cringing.
Rainbow Tree.
I already went.
Okay,
now what?
so
Rip.
I have competed for. This is going to be my fourth and final year of Cyber Patriots. I am graduating this year. I
Right.
I specialize in all aspects of the competition: networking, Linux, Windows. I sometimes have to juggle the three of them, which is never fun at all. And I've gone to regionals / semifinals for the last 3 years.
Hey.
Alright, alright. Here comes the big boy. Just kidding. Okay. Alright. My name's Talon. Not gonna reveal my real name because I'm a loser. I competed for 3 years, both in all service and open division. My specialties are mainly Linux, but I can do a lot of Windows as well. I've sometimes had to go back and forth between the two because people wouldn't know how to turn off Active Directory.
Ouch.
People against.
I still don't know how to do that.
What's an Active Directory again?
It's the domain
Elliot.
controller.
All right, and then basically, I have went to regionals, last semifinals, all 3 years. I've already, and I'm retired, just like. So yeah.
Okay. So we do have a middle school watching right now, and they have submitted so far 6 questions. First one is, how does Cyber Patriot affect participants in the future? What advice do you have for deleting Ubuntu viruses? Any Linux experts?
Hey.
All right, can I say something?
Yeah.
You.
Can I say something?
Okay.
Okay, middle schoolers, if you're listening to this, like just don't even bother. I guarantee you're never gonna get points for it. Just completely skip it.
Yeah.
Dude, why are you
That's
offering that kind of advice? It's gonna get cut.
I mean, have you ever gotten points for Clan AV? Oh, right, you can't
Yes.
see anything. Oh, never mind. Disregard
I have
that.
never gotten points
I've never
for
gotten
Clam
points
AV.
for I've never gotten points for Clan AV either.
Oh, I got points
I haven't
once.
either.
Once.
Okay.
Once. Yes, once.
Once.
Like okay, like virus scanning should be like you have like 3 hours left of
Except it was for
competition. You have no
netcat.
idea what you're supposed to be doing. Like use it as a final resort, I guess.
Oh,
Because
so
on
you,
Windows, you're guaranteed, like from round 2 and beyond, guarantee you will always get something on Malwarebytes. But Ubuntu, it's a lot harder because in Ubuntu, the like viruses, quote
Noob.
unquote, you The viruses are mainly backdoors, like mainly netcat backdoors. Am I allowed to say that? Is this legal?
Yes.
No.
It's
That's
not
fine.
competition specific.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, I
It's
guess my
not,
advice,
because
I
it happens
specialize in
over multiple
Windows, but
rounds.
like,
I don't care.
yeah, my advice would be okay, on Linux, there are, in essence, quote unquote, viruses. Um, I would suggest looking for backdoors like cron jobs on startup. Um,
Also, a lot
look
of services.
run netstat or like any network monitoring software and look for suspicious applications that are listening on like unusual ports. You can use the proc I guess like directory with the process ID to look at the command line. Just look up netcat, learn how that works. That will normally be there sometimes.
Swiss Army knife.
I don't even think we're even at the question yet. I'm pretty sure we're still on the first question, aren't we?
Yeah.
Sure.
Wait, you were talking about services. That has nothing to do with Ubuntu viruses.
You can find them in the services.
Well, I know that, but I'm just saying. I thought he was talking about the service in general.
Like,
Dude, I feel rejected now. There's no manual page for netcat.
Is it really?
Yes, it is.
Not
I'm
Oh,
for
pretty sure
no.
there's a man for
Of course
Netcat.
not.
his
It's a
man
tool,
bot.
not a command.
Oh, and Manbot.
you
I know
guys
for a fact.
completely skipped over the first part of the question. How does CyberPatriot affect participants in the future?
It doesn't.
Then I'll answer that question.
CyberPatriot either makes you really depressed because your teammates suck, or helps you get a better job.
It's
Okay,
Cali
so
Patriot for you.
All
like
right,
Oh,
this is
isn't it
like
Cali
this is Talon's
Patriot for
question.
everyone?
CyberPatriot is good for introducing you how Linux and Cisco works, but like other than that, there's no really like legitimate cybersecurity value you're being taught.
Yes,
You're
there
learning
is.
how you're learning.
Policies.
No, you're learning OS hardening, and that's definitely something you do in cybersecurity. But don't expect to do like 4 years of CyberPatriot, then get out and think you can get a job like that. Like it's a lot. Like cybersecurity in general is so broad, and it's a lot deeper than you think it is. CyberPatriot's a great way to start. Get good at Linux and Cisco. It will definitely help you in the future, guaranteed.
Talon,
All
you
right.
have anything?
So to answer the first part of the question, how does CyberPatriot affect participants in the future? I say it gives you a very basic knowledge of what you should be looking for when it comes to security flaws for the most part. Um, Usually nowadays people use stuff like Nessus. Sometimes they do it manually, but I'm pretty sure most of the time, or at least half of the time, people use Nessus and stuff like that to find vulnerabilities and stuff like that within their system. So if you like doing everything manually, I like manually because fuck it, I hate Nessus.
So,
Language. And
uh,
one thing to add
Nessus
on to that.
is
Wait.
I don't know.
Okay, one thing to add on to that is that another thing CyberPatriot teaches you how to use is like modern tools used in the actual cybersecurity industries, like Nessus, Netcat, other security policy programs, et cetera, et cetera. So it's definitely a good way to
Yeah,
get an
here's the
idea
issue.
of what they use.
Here's the issue though. CyberPatriot is finally starting to kill every single tool that you could possibly use to find security issues or modern tools, anyways, like Nessus. They've already killed that basically with
Wait,
the new
why?
rule that came out. Because of that stupid new rule they came out with, where you can only have like one instance of the bot or one instance logged into the box at one time.
yeah.
You can't, because what Nessus does, it logs you in as a Nessus user. So it wants to do its scanning and stuff like that. Or actually, I take that back. My bad. It doesn't log you as an SS user. It uses your own credentials for the root user or a admin on the system, and it requires you to log in. So it goes against that rule. So
Okay.
I feel like I've found a workaround around it, but I don't think anybody's gonna take any chances. But actually,
Another thing to add on to that would be like CyberPatriot, it's
6:45.
useful, right? Like it does prepare to fix real world issues, but I will say CyberPatriot has included stuff that is kind of obscure in a way. For example, like the hardening, it's not as useful now. It's more useful like it was more useful like, a long time ago, but it's not like super current. Some of the vulnerabilities are kind of obscure in a way. So yeah, they score a lot of weird things.
Yeah. I don't know if I should say this or not. I'm probably just gonna be very obscure about it. Hidden files. That's one of those things that are very obscure and not very useful in the career field. I mean, yeah, it's nice to know how to look for those, but I don't think it's not very good, honestly, like for future use. Also, I did want to answer the second part of that question. What advice do you have for deleting Ubuntu viruses? You can use stuff. Well, like I already said, I'm not going to repeat it because I don't know if it was against the rules or not. Even though I'm not competing, anymore, anyways. I'm not sure if you get points for that kind of stuff, but 2 programs for that I would suggest are ClamAV and RK Hunter. Those are the 2 main programs I know for a fact that do some pretty good damage.
Also, look into backdoors and like really understand how those work. For both Windows and Linux, you will see it. It's a real world thing. It's a good thing to learn. So look
Those
into
are
that.
like actually ways people can just screw you.
Yup. All right. The next question is there any point in going through all the auditing settings and configuring them? Do you usually get
Yeah.
points for that? Is the
That's
Auditing,
an
amount
easy
yes.
consistent?
Auditing,
Yeah.
yes.
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 GP edit, no.
Wait, is
Yeah,
it possible?
gedit's usually for Active Directory, so you don't really need to use group policies. But for like stuff like what was the question again? Auditing settings. Yeah, so like something like what is it called?
Wait,
Like
is
the
is it?
local
It's possible to
group
script those,
policy.
right?
Mhm.
LTPO, yeah.
Auditing policies and stuff like that. Like
Yeah,
like
you can.
honestly, like I'm definitely positive that they will have at least like 1 or 2 vulnerabilities in there because if you've competed on Windows, especially at the high school level, I think you definitely understand. You can relate that CyberPatriot they get very very specific and obscure with their vulnerabilities. So
Oh yeah.
I'm very positive that there will at least be some points in auditing in future rounds.
The way I like to think about it, CyberPatriot, it is a virtual environment.
Ooh.
If you want and you're really like this unsure, you can. There's no rule saying you can't. You can literally nuke it all. You can audit everything until you get
Hi,
points.
Josh.
It can work.
Hello all.
Just some advice
How's
if you
Hawaii?
want.
I'm not in Hawaii at the moment. I'm in the mainland.
Oh.
Oh wow, Josh
Josh,
is
are
here.
you British? You sound very British.
Perhaps.
Yeah, obviously.
Sick.
Oh okay. Anyway,
California, man.
did you just join, Josh?
Yeah, he just did.
That I did. How's it going,
All
everyone?
right.
Yeah, we
The
set up the
second part of the
stream somehow.
question. The second part of the question. Do you usually get points for those in amount significant? Sometimes, sometimes not. It really depends on what round you're in. I can't really say specifics, but yeah. So
But
that's the
you're
end of that
retired.
question. Well, I know, but I can't say anything still. I don't think, can I?
So
You not really.
let's put the context this way, okay? The rules dictate that not everything awards points. It does not mean that you should not do it anyway.
That is
Yes.
very true.
Hey, it's just like passwords. You shouldn't like be like, oh, let's just try setting one password. You should just set passwords for everyone.
Oh,
Yes.
somebody actually asked me a really good question in general. If I'm allowed to answer, or if I have to wait.
What,
You can
what
go ahead.
about auditing for Linux?
Yeah, auditing for Linux. Number one tool. If you're talking about password policies, use PAM, Cracklib.
Like, you have to
Shudders.
install libpam cracklet. Like, that's like an absolute must on Linux.
That is an absolute
Wait, no,
must.
you can use the new one.
I'm-
You can use
I'm
PAM
allowed
PW
to say
quality.
Cracklib. I'm allowed to say Cracklib because it's in the training module, so they would know anyway. But
Yeah. You're
Wait,
allowed to.
Yeah.
you're actually you can use either. I asked the person who makes the images.
well, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So yeah, your script can configures PAM beforehand. Personally, I would say don't configure it beforehand, but that's just me. I would say install it first and then configure it. Just make sure when you install PAM Cracklib, it doesn't try overwriting your settings. That's the number one
Also,
thing.
Oh, don't lock yourself
real,
out.
That
yeah.
too. Don't watch
Major.
yourself out.
real
I locked
quick,
myself out twice.
It's a
Oof.
classic move.
Yeah, like it's like locking yourself out by messing up with PAM. I think every single Linux person has done that like at least once.
I've done it at
I
least
have.
2 or 3. Hey, that's the mark of a Linux user in CyberPatriot.
Exactly.
That's on. Yeah. Another good question. That we should cover. How do you avoid locking yourself out? Can we discuss like how it works, how to properly configure PAM so you don't screw yourself over?
Well, first
Yeah.
change your
Okay,
password to
so
good.
so the easiest trick, honestly, if you guys want, and this is my recommendation as a mentor, the best trick. Why don't you create another admin user with the backdoor access to you can actually undo it?
Or if you want to, while you're configuring it, have root shell open. So if you mess something up, your
Actually
root
would
can
have
do
almost
anything.
gotten screwed.
Yes, but that does absolutely nothing for Windows users because if they have to restart for a Windows update, and you're going to have to be running Windows update at some
I'm doing
how good
something. No! I'm doing a stream.
The other one I would suggest, don't be waiting for competitions to practice how to actually set pass policies.
Yes.
I don't know that goes into that goes into everything as well. Like you should be making your script and your checklist before the competition
You should
starts, like
not
in
be
the summer.
scripting before you manually do stuff.
I mean, like, okay, forget I said script. If you're in middle school, I don't recommend writing a script until you know what you're doing. But like, definitely download a VM of Ubuntu and just run through your checklist. Make sure you know how to actually do everything. It'll save you like any frustration and confusion in the future.
Also, to add on to that, for everybody, high school or middle school, make sure you know how to do everything manually. Because Josh even told me this once. Scripting isn't a must. You don't need to script to be successful in the competition. And at nationals, you don't get
California begs to
script.
differ.
Wait, no,
You were
0043 is a
there
good
live.
example of that. Team 0043, they got to nationals without scripting in semis.
Yeah, you don't need scripting at all. It's just a convenience, I guess.
Wait, were they open division?
No, they were middle school.
Okay, middle school. Never mind then.
That Zamp or no?
Yes,
No,
the
Zamp was.
Zamp.
Oh, it was. Yep. Next question. This one's pretty easy. How do you find groups in both Ubuntu and Windows? For Ubuntu, it would be in etc group. In Windows, it would be you could go to computer management, you can go to local groups and users, and just go down and see who's where. All administrators are on the administrator group. So yeah.
And to add on to that, for Ubuntu, like managing groups is mentioned in like on the last slide of the modules. So definitely make sure you read the CyberPatriot modules. They're great material.
They're
Yeah.
so old.
Except the PAM slide. because the Pam slide, I think they made a typo on it. I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
With like the
No, I
arrows.
think they also tell you to do lockout policy, which is never do that.
I mean, if CyberPatriot is telling you to do something,
That's a great way to nuke
personally,
your
I would
image.
do it.
Force yourself to nuke your image.
I've always followed the training modules. I've never had issues. I don't know.
Oh, maybe they didn't say that then. Whatever, just don't do lockout policy.
All right.
Just test things out first, and then figure out if it works or not.
Yeah. I
Alright,
just
next one.
recommend getting a blank image at home or school, whatever. Just practice on your own. Make sure things work, and then when it comes to competition day, you'll be ready. Yeah.
And it's not just practice once. It's not practice twice. You keep on practicing over and over and over again until you actually build that muscle memory. So you actually completely understand. So if you fudge things up once, you understand that this is what the root cause was for that problem.
Yeah. So, what do you say? Just practice as much as you can before the competition.
Yeah.
The next question we covered this a little bit. Kinda. Writing scripts. What language do you use to write scripts? What specific item should be targeted with the script? The second part of
Haskell.
that question, we have not really answered too much about that.
Okay, I think we can answer the question in at least a couple ways, okay? Number one, it doesn't matter what language you write as long as it actually works, okay?
Right.
But for the purpose of actually writing a script, oh, for crying out loud, why are you even thinking about scripting? It's not going to be an instance of God Save the Queen, or the user in this case. The problem with scripting is always going to be this. Does it bloody hell work in the environment that you're using it? And I'm going to be willing to bet 9 times out of 10, you'll be spending more time fixing it than actually running it.
Yep. Because testing, like whenever I make scripts, I have to test them a lot. Because, easy places to break, often typos.
Yeah. Can I add something to that? For my 1,000 line script, I made a couple months ago. Back during CyberPatriot 10, the number one thing I had issues with was exactly what Josh said. Fixing it every time I had to fix something because it was broken or I made a typo or I did something really stupid in there. One of those was when I used sed. Sed is a piece of garbage if you don't know how to use it. I'm telling you now.
Said.
Sed.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Yeah, no, sed.
Yeah, I know.
And it's complete garbage if you don't know how to use it.
If
So
you
do
don't
not.
remove the new lines, you get screwed.
Exactly. That was my main issue because I've really rarely ever used sed. And I hated that for the longest time because I could never figure out what was going on. Now I know. After a competition already finished. So I did everything.
Yeah. Lastly, just to add on to that, what Josh was saying, scripting is not necessary at all. It's not going to make you more successful. It's just a convenience. And if you do decide to script, dear God, if you do, don't stress out over it. You don't need to script the entire damn competition. Only script
Speed run round one.
Be like
Yeah.
no-ho. 45 minutes.
Oh gosh.
I actually was in CyberPatriot, I believe, CyberPatriot 9. I was the fastest person to complete round one.
That is
and
not
second
very
fastest,
useful.
And like fourth to complete round 2 on Linux because of my script.
Yes. Because it
Which
can make
means
things fast.
Scripting is very nice.
It's just a convenience.
So something to be cognizant of. Okay? The Air Force Association is watching how actually people perform. To that end, okay, be cognizant of the fact that if there's a set of aggressive players and everyone's getting 100%, they're going to be bringing the wrath of God upon people.
Wait,
They
oh,
only
you
think
mean
it's
like the round 1 to round 2 transition?
Oh my god.
Okay, last year was absolutely ridiculous. The transition
It
was
was really
absolutely
ridiculous.
Dude, I
Competition
love.
was really ridiculous. And then in season 9, upon state, they just went manslaughter.
Honestly, round one to round during CyberPatriot 9, round one to round two was pretty good. I liked it. Round two to state was pretty decent. State to regionals was the worst thing they could have possibly done that year.
Wait,
They
They
put
sh-
It was
they
Debian, right?
awful.
wasn't
they
regionals bad? Debian?
they had
Yeah, that was
Debian,
CyberPatriot 9. I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
and therefore I could
That
not be the only
was
Linux
Cyber
guy.
9.
I
Just
could not
Yeah,
be
people.
the only
exactly.
Linux guy for the first time, and that was awful because our guy that was running Ubuntu didn't know how to run Ubuntu really well. So
Hey,
since I was caught up in Debian, it was
nice.
horrible.
Debian was the worst thing I've ever touched. That's why I don't ever use Debian on a personal basis or during competition. No.
Problem is that Ubuntu is Debian, but even worse.
No, that's not the problem. The problem is Debian has a lot of packages
Just
that
like
are
Ubuntu.
yeah, but it's kind of ass.
It's no different than Ubuntu.
Ubuntu
De-
is a Debian-based operating system.
Yes,
It
we know.
is.
Okay. Are we done with that?
Next question.
Yeah. Next one, it says, I've heard that CyberPatriot images always have the same proportion of classes of vulnerabilities. You know what those classes are? Yes. After every round, CyberPatriot does release categories. They've been the same the entire time. I can go through them.
Hey,
I have
pull
them
the
First one,
image
saved. I'll
up.
put them in chat right now.
yeah, account policies, application security settings, application updates, defensive countermeasures, forensics questions, local policies, operating system settings, operating system updates, malware, prohibited files, unwanted software, service auditing, and user auditing.
Hey, did anyone notice that they never released a vulnerability category for semifinals?
Yes,
What
they
is
Actually,
that?
I
didn't.
didn't know. I
Yeah.
noticed that myself.
Did they?
Yes, because I looked on the volunteer dashboard and it wasn't there.
That's really weird because I
Because
also looked on the
semifinals.
volunteer dashboard. I didn't see it.
Long
Thing is
story
with
short,
this,
they don't want you knowing the vulnerabilities.
But
Ever.
anyway, should we try
I,
to decipher the
Okay, that's
vulnerability categories?
I think
well.
that Cyber Patriot on their part should definitely like put in more effort into helping people learn from the vulnerability categories
That's
because
Yeah,
they're
let's
so
try
So much
broad.
for them. So much for them preaching security. They don't teach us what they expect for security.
Yeah, the thing is, like, yeah, they give you some pretty, well, quote unquote, difficult tasks to figure out, but they never actually teach you how to do it. You have to learn it yourself, which is why Cali Patriot is how it is,
Wait.
because Cali Patriot already has answers.
No, they don't.
What do you
Oh
mean they
no.
don't?
Let's just stop.
oh
We're just
no,
gonna go
back to
away.
November flashbacks when we were ranting about North
We're
Hollywood.
just gonna avoid this conversation.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's
No,
not
but
get
like
into Cali Patriot.
okay, but like seriously, like a reason why California performs so well is because it's because they've been in the competition for a while, and like because of that, they know what Cyber Patriot wants them to fix. They
Yep.
know everything that goes into the images because they
That's
have
what,
the
that's what I meant.
experience.
I didn't mean by the answers. I meant like they have previous competitions that they could go based off of. So they
And get
know.
this,
Oh wait.
California, they have their own like competitions just for California, like the Mayor's
Okay, they're
Challenge
just like round 1 competitions though. I've looked at the readmes for them.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes. There's
The
not much of a
readmes don't
boost.
tell you the readmes don't tell you everything though, and I'm saying that as someone who has seen the other competitions up
Well,
down the
like,
state.
it's kind of an
Of course not.
indication of how difficult it is.
Well, it depends on who's sponsoring the image. So, for example, recently the Beyond the Bell Cup that happened, I think it was June or July of this year, was an Airports Association image from CyberPatriot. It was reused essentially with some tweaks and modifications.
Yeah. basically what the README gives you a very, very like introduction to the image. It tells you what it wants, some very basic rules. It tells you critical services that should be configured. Nothing else. Everything is stuff you have to find using the context of the scenario.
It's RTFI. Read the frickin' instructions.
Yep.
Except replace that with the other word.
Well, I'm going to be very PG-13 about it. I don't want parents grilling me on it.
They don't know
RTI,
who
read
you
the
are.
instructions.
I don't think the F word should be needed in that acronym.
Anyways, to that end, keep in mind the big picture of things. Also, on top of that, something that I wanted to make sure everyone's cognizant of, there are actually some categories and examples of categories actually in the rulebook too, as well.
Yeah.
Are we talking about like team categories, or are we talking about vulnerability categories?
Well, the question originally was about vulnerability categories.
Wait,
And
yeah,
the
we should
vulnerability
address what they actually mean. It's been a
So,
big question. Even
I
Troy
think
didn't understand.
I think most of us can agree that these categories, while helpful and points in the right direction, sometimes are just horribly vague and obtuse.
Yeah.
For example, oh, there's a couple of the vulnerabilities in the miscellaneous category.
Yeah, CyberPatriot has said they're gonna improve upon it, but
They better.
we'll see how it
Rubbish.
is this year.
I'm going to call it now. They're probably not going to improve.
I don't know. I talked with the person.
I
He said they would.
Rubbish.
Okay. Someone said in the general chat. Someone asked. Whoops.
How much of the competition would you say? Are you talking about that one?
Yeah.
Wait, Rainbow, do you want
The
to?
question was, how much of the competition would you say is covered in the training modules given by CyberPatriot?
Only round one. Only round one, dude.
Yep.
Not. I
Dude, can you?
Yeah.
The audio output.
Oh my god.
I absolutely question. I absolutely question, legitimately, if everything's even in the training models, even for round one. I legitimately question that.
Actually, yeah, that's actually there's a bunch of stuff in for round one, believe it or not. Especially in the Linux one, that gives you quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm saying there's definitely stuff. The basics are definitely in the modules, but
Also,
Oh, yeah.
for the person that's asking about packet tracer, do not let your packet tracer person sit around the entire time on Pinterest.
Oh my god.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
I have to deal with that way
enormous
too much. It hinders us.
Ooh.
If he's stuck, they should convey it to you
Sorry.
or the rest of the team so that you guys can continue and he can be put to other work.
This sounds
Don't
like
let them just sit there and you have to juggle an extra image because they're not doing anything.
This sounds like a question for how do I choose my team properly.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, at least my school didn't. It doesn't. They don't let you choose teams. They just put you in random teams.
Yep, same with mine. Well, actually, now I'm going to be able to actually make my own team since I actually run this thing now.
So I'm going to be the first person to say is this, okay? You don't get to pick the teams you want to, or the people that works on the teams in real life. So as someone in industry right now, I have to work with a wide variety of people, of talents and skills. Use this opportunity to actually learn to work with talented people, finding ways to communicate, finding ways to manage them. You don't get to pick your coworkers, and you have to work with them.
Yeah.
Or you can just leave the job.
What I would suggest is
For the
like,
ideal team.
Okay.
Team for competition? Let's just say California teams.
Or 5 of me.
Well, remember,
online teams.
I am the zone. I am one of
Okay,
the-
can I answer what Mr. Meme just said?
Yep.
Okay, so the
Go
interesting
ahead.
thing about like team compositions, I'm assuming you're saying like how many people on each OS. Like generally, what I personally think is the best, and I think what a lot of other people feel the same way, is like one person on Cisco, one person on Ubuntu, the rest on Windows. But a lot of people do it differently based on how much they know. But I saw one of the Del Norte teams, one team from Del Norte that went to nationals this year. They ran 2-2-2. So they had 2 people on Windows, 2 people on Linux, and 2 people on Cisco, which I found really interesting.
Yeah, my team comp for both years was 2 Linux, 2 Windows, and 1 Cisco. But
I like who just said that in the chat. That is
Yeah.
so relevant. Do not put people on your team just because they don't pass a test you made. They grow.
I feel
This
like
year,
in a
my
way-
varsity team, we put on an absolute newbie. He has proven to be very helpful as he started learning how to work things out.
Hey,
And that's just in 1 year.
nice.
Get people who actually care about it and want to learn more.
That's basically
Exactly.
it.
So, I was going to actually also suggest that people are going to have things happen, okay? Whether you're a sophomore, junior, freshman, senior, okay?
Middle
People are going to
schooler.
get sick. People are going to have sports tournaments.
People are going to get banned from the
life
competition.
Well, exactly. But because
I should actually mention this. Have your team always behave, because your school reserves the right to not let them compete. I had to deal with that during semis this last season, where the aforementioned member of my team that I just praised said something silly in a group chat. Someone else got salty about it and reported it to the school administration for no good reason. By the way, this group chat wasn't school related at all. And he got punished for it.
well, the point being is this, okay? Things happen. Okay. If you only have one person who actually knows Linux and they get sick that day of competition, you guys are essentially sunk. So you should always have backups for critical items, just in case something actually happens where your primary is out of competition for whatever reason.
Like
Or-
honestly, if I ever get sick, I'm still gonna go to the competition because I can't let my team down. You know, like I'm willing to just sit in the corner of the room and compete if I have to.
Well,
That's
not
what
everyone
I
else
told him.
is, so you gotta learn how to multi-OS. That's
Oh,
why.
not
You cut off, by the
That's
way.
why NoHo can do well, because people can do multiple things.
Yeah, and
So-
their team actually cares about the competition on like half the other teams.
so that
In my-
explains why. Thank you for whoever who sits in the corner hacking and coughing and get everyone diseased.
Oh well,
Oh,
we
Me,
should
IRL.
answer Rhino's question.
Yeah, okay, so it says, so I've been doing CyberPatriot for about 2 years, and every time on Ubuntu, I get to half the points, and it starts to slow down. Anything like that can help me to not slow down or whatever. So basically he's saying he's get to a certain, like, peak of skill, I guess, and, like, he can't find the rest of the vulnerabilities. What do you do? My suggestion would be what everybody does. Read through me over and over and over again. Make sure you don't overlook something. If you need to do research, Google. I know you're gonna hate me for saying that, but you just gotta put in the work to actually do the research during the competition. It's gonna be painful. Um,
Oh, and
Try
another
grinding
thing I want to put in
CIS.
for people that have to start over, or people that end up having to start over because they tried something and it broke their system. Document everything you do. Literally, just put a Google sheet, start jotting everything down,
Oh yeah,
and
you're allowed
share it
to.
with your teammates.
You're allowed to save your score reports. I asked,
Yep, you are.
Do that.
For
Just save your
personal
score
use.
reports and
as
learn
long
from
as you
them.
don't share them.
You're
I
also
like what,
actually you're
I
not.
like what Chris put in the general chat.
If I actually may interrupt, you're actually not allowed to save your scoring reports anymore. It actually was illegal. I think it was one of the changes in the last year's rulebook.
Oh,
Wait, what
last
was it?
year's. Wait. I asked the
Whoops.
guy though. You would
Shut
know.
it down. Shut it down! Shut the stream down! Everyone get down!
Oh well.
FBI, you open
Just remember, learn from what you do in each round.
Yeah.
Wait, what was somebody saying something about the regional or the booklet from last year? What was one of the new rules?
The new rule says you can't save vulnerabilities or the answers. You can't save them.
Well, guess what?
Oh,
I do it
is that
anyway.
a CPX rule?
North Hollywood.
You know, just because you said that, the Air Force Association is gonna raid the server and we're gonna get shut down. Thanks a lot.
Oh yeah.
It's okay.
Apparently
Let's
there
just make a
is
new
one.
one.
I'm retired, so they can't really do anything to me. But
Yep.
Well,
All right,
if you're
anyways.
a mentor this year, then they can definitely do something to you. Because it applies
Ooh.
to everyone.
You're
then they can't
right.
do. Wait. If
You're
I
right.
what?
No, you're still involved. Only
what?
retired, like NSA. K9 Lego. Anyway. what are
Going
the
back to the original question, if you're still hitting a wall after trying everything, go and take a 10, 15-minute break just to clear your
Sometimes
mind.
even just like
Start over.
take a eat lunch if it's in the middle of the day and it's lunchtime-ish.
And make sure you eat. Like, make sure you're hydrated too.
Definitely. That also, if you have ADHD and are on medication, ensure you take your medication when you're supposed to. That way you're focused during the competition.
Or you can just give your medication to everyone else and then get more points that way.
Let's
Oh my god.
I'm sure I'd get expelled and sent to court if I were to do that because I am
pass the
supervised.
Adderall. Pass the Adderall, bro.
Can I talk about one of the things that somebody said in general?
Sure.
So someone said, what would be 3 training resources that you would point a new competitor to study outside of the training modules?
Oh, okay.
Go to the website I just posted.
Go to the resources channel, or wait, let's
I've actually
post it
never heard
now. The CyberPatriot Wiki resources page.
Oh god.
The service, the wiki, the one that has all the
Hey, it's the one that has the FAQ.
So I
No,
honestly
I
think
got
the
that.
biggest resource is actually going in and doing some other competitions, like a capture the flag or something.
Yeah,
Get
that's really
used
good for
to
forensics.
speaking. Well, not even
Yeah,
just
CIS
forensics, just even the thought processes.
Yeah. Like, we got a lot
CIS
better at forensics after doing some CTF competitions. We did
Yeah, the
HSF,
CIS
and even though we failed, it, like, helped.
Yeah, the CIS is probably one of the best things you could possibly use. Yeah.
On top of that, it gets you used to the competition setting and mindset. You need to have to actually start dealing with the competition mindset. It's a very different mindset at all times.
Wait, so yeah, you should,
Also,
like,
if you're-
sign up for the CTF competitions coming up for fall.
National Cyber League.
HSF.
What?
Wait, is that an
high school.
online comp or is that a?
It's online.
I might do
High
that.
school forensics.
When in the fall though? That depends. Is it like October or what is it?
And then...
For me, another thing to add on to that, yeah, you can compete in CTS and stuff like that. But if you're just looking for like straight research for Windows, read Microsoft documentation. There's a lot of best practices there. It's annoying to read, but it's there. It's official.
And
No misinformation.
to
Same
add
thing
on-
for Linux. You can do your own research there. I don't know any specific resources. You can use CIS if you want. It's kind of boring though.
To add on to that, make sure you're googling everything. Like if you see a critical service or something like that on the README that you've never heard of before, like I can guarantee you every single round there will be some points linked to that critical service, and there's going to be more than you think, really. So just Google it up. So if you have like an FTP server on Windows, Google go to Google and look up how to secure an FTP server on Windows 10. I guarantee you will get at least some points off of that. CyberPatriot love to put vulnerabilities based off of their critical services.
Definitely.
That's the whole point.
Yes.
There's a reason they're called critical services.
Can I talk about
Maybe
I
because
was
they're
gonna
critical
actually-
to your success.
So let's just put this out there, okay? The rule in CyberPatriot is you can't use any dedicated resources for CyberPatriot itself. That means stuff that's used for CyberPatriot competition. But here's the reality, though. There are other competitions out there that runs in tandem with actually what the CyberPatriot actually does. You can actually look at them and pull those resources down. They are fair game.
Or look at Toasty's resources.
I haven't seen Toasty, so I can't comment on those.
They're pretty long books that are very in depth.
Yeah, I've never heard of this Toasty guy, but I think
Daniel
Well,
Plaza
I mean,
is
we're toast.
God. I met him.
anyways, can I talk about something that was that we were talking about earlier, the services? There's a bunch of main services that you want to look for. We've talked about it in the CyberPatriot Discord, which I'm not sure if it's in chat or not.
It might be. Let's see.
It's
Hashtag resources is still around. Hashtag resources.
Yeah, it could be hashtag resources, or I could talk about it here. Some of the Windows tools you could possibly use, stuff like MBSA, Security Essentials, Ninites, if you like installing a bunch of programs at once. Show Hidden, if you don't know how to look up hidden files and folders for whatever reason, even though it's like one of the easiest things ever. Malwarebytes, Roadkiller, and EMET if you have server. Those are pretty good. Process Hackers apparently on there, which I've never used Process Hackers. So I
Process
can't
Hacker is literally Task Manager, but on steroids. I highly encourage you to use it during competition.
Procep.
Okay.
Another really good resource for Windows. Sorry to interrupt you. Learn the sysinternal suite, please. Like that's a really good resource if you're for background stuff.
Definitely, sysinternals is good.
All right.
yeah.
For Linux,
If you
some of the
if you like package management for Windows, you can try Chocolatey.
Yeah.
Don't use the paid version. Only use the free version.
Yeah, because you're not allowed to use paid version.
yeah.
But you are legally allowed to use versions with free trials, though.
Yep, because it's free.
Malwarebytes. Stuff like that.
Yeah, but the point, the rule, the spirit, the intent of the rule is that everyone has fair access to the tool or resource that you're using.
Yep.
So some of the ones I want to go over for Linux, there's a couple in here. RDP, which not really Linux doesn't really use that much RDP. Unless if you're talking about like
Linux doesn't use RDP; it uses VNC
or SSH.
I'm pretty sure there's RDP variants for Linux as well.
There is something called R desktop.
Well, that too.
Oh, Remina.
Linux.
Yeah, you should delete Remina.
Remina is just a remote desktop client, by the way, but you should still remove it.
Some other ones are like you need to make sure your DNS is set up correctly. FTP, SMTP, so like email clients.
So something to be mindful. Something to be mindful is this, okay? If you're looking for vulnerabilities, you have to think about the different categories that they're at, okay? You have operating system level vulnerabilities. You have service level vulnerabilities. You could even potentially also have application level vulnerabilities. So there are different settings in different applications, like in your web browser. There could be stuff like that. And my biggest thing, and this is the biggest one I harp on, especially for those who are using Google Chrome or Firefox or anything that allows extensions, okay? Extensions are literally software applications. And that makes your browser essentially the equivalent of an operating system. Keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Also, keep application config in mind.
For I
You
guess
can
in a
get points
general
off of it.
perspective for finding vulnerabilities, the main concept CyberPatriot wants you to focus on is you want to reduce the attack surface. So like when it comes to services, if it's the standalone workstation, you probably shouldn't have something like Nginx installed or Apache installed or SQL installed. It's not always is it vulnerable, but is it unnecessary? That's another thing.
Okay,
Basically,
let's
you
talk.
don't install
Let's,
anything
okay,
you don't need.
Yeah,
I
because they
want-
tell you
I
to
want-
remove games.
Okay, I want to make a point on this one. Okay, I have an absolute pet peeve with the AFA on this one. Okay, several years ago there was a Windows 8 workstation running. I think it was some sort of critical web server like an IIS or something like that. That was absolutely ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. Why are
That
we
is pretty ridiculous, unless if you're actually using it for something.
I don't bloody care. It was absolutely the wrong thing to be teaching. It's like
It's okay.
yes,
Not to mention whenever in CP7 where they required you to install Opera, whatever it's called.
Oprah.
Opera browser.
Winfrey.
Opera is the browser for DSIs.
I can live with the web
That's
browser.
the best browser.
I cannot though live with a
Most schools block that browser though, and they will not unblock it for competition.
Hey, don't uninstall Internet Explorer. They never tell you to. You actually should not uninstall Internet Explorer.
You
Yep,
should
but as a matter of fact,
update.
they usually always tell you to leave it as is. Well, update it.
And
When you update
definitely
the
don't
system, you just
uninstall
update it.
Firefox
I think they
unless
say
you want to get
Internet
negative
Explorer
points.
should be installed.
Speaking on the point of Firefox, or at least this has happened to me over the last 3 years I've been competing. But the number one thing you do not want to do is update Firefox. Mainly because every time I ever updated Firefox, or at least originally, during CyberPatriot 9 mainly, every time I would update Firefox, it would crash my system and corrupt it. Not even joking.
Crash
Wait,
your
can you just
Firefox?
uninstall? Wait, okay,
No,
can you just
it would
uninstall
not let
Firefox and reinstall
Firefox
it?
open ever again. It would not let you into the system correctly. It actually uninstalled the Ubuntu desktop.
Oh, that's for
What?
Ubuntu. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, for
I'm gonna
Windows, it's
say
fine.
I've never had that issue in all my time updating Firefox,
weird.
and
I've had
Firefox
it
is scored to be updated.
I've had it happen twice.
Ooh, did you just
Also-
say?
in the
No.
words of Steve Jobs, you're doing it wrong.
Oh, yeah. On the
Actually, his words was, "You're holding it wrong," but
Also, a tip for Windows when it comes to updating Firefox. I don't know if anybody's run into this, but if you go
I'm
like through Firefox,
paraphrasing.
wait, dude, just install the new version from their site instead of going to the update menu.
yeah, it'll override it. That's the easiest way. Don't go through the Firefox settings. Just go to the new website and download it. It'll override it. It's easy.
Also, update everything.
Yeah,
All the
everything
applications.
that's installed.
Yeah, do that.
They actually check for that.
Yeah. Oh, so I guess one
Correct
way
me
we
if
should
I'm
probably
wrong.
tell is how to update your applications.
Aren't you supposed to use a packet manager?
Yes, you can for Ubuntu, but for
For
Windows,
these.
you have to go to every site.
So for
Unless you want a script
Ubuntu,
update.
you want to do sudo apt-get
Oh.
update and then upgrade. That'll fix. That'll give you a bunch of points too.
you also can do dist upgrade, and that does an absolute complete upgrade of all the packages on the system. Does not miss anything. Upgrade does not get absolutely everything.
Also, does
Keep
not
that in
upgrade
mind.
your OS. That's a different command.
That is a very, very different command. Do not upgrade your version of Ubuntu.
I've never done that during competition.
Do not upgrade your version of Ubuntu. It's going to harass you that there's a new long-term support release available. Do not get it.
Dude, I get a feeling that some new person like undoubtedly pressed install a new version and probably screwed them over.
We had one team at my school that keeps having that issue, and I have a very, very high. I am very, very sure that they are actually upgrading their release of Ubuntu because they can't actually get their system to launch after they upgrade, and it's happened every single competition.
Oops.
And it's happened with none of us.
So you're talking about them actually doing not even a distribution upgrade. They're just going from like Ubuntu 16 to Ubuntu 18.
Yeah, they're going from 15 to 18.
Rip.
Do not
Can
upgrade
you lose
that.
points for that?
No, you can actually get yourself. You have to restart because most things will actually break.
Oh, that's great. It's almost like deleting
And-
the CCS.
Well, the engine won't really work because it's not really meant for the new version of whatever you're running. So yeah, don't.
Ooh, a pupper barking in the background.
Also, don't upgrade your Windows version.
Yeah,
Yeah,
please
that's
Wind
don't.
blows.
Wind blows.
Well, it's kind of hard to do unless you like
Unless
forcefully.
you actually like download.
I recommend downloading all the updates before competition.
What's us? WSUS.
Don't delete my doggo.
Don't delete my pupper.
Why?
Hey, someone asked a question. Let's address it.
Wait.
Where's
which one are
the
you
question? Is
talking
in
about?
hashtag general?
Noel full well.
Oh, no full well.
Oh yeah.
Last year on the Windows images, I scored about 70 points rounds 1 through 3, so 1 through state. And my team didn't make it to round 4 of platinum. I could never figure out what the last 30-ish points were on any of the VMs. Any idea what it could have been, and that I should research?
We can't say.
Oh God,
specific.
that's gonna be a tough one because we have to give them actually answers or point them in the right direction.
We can't.
Actually, no. Let's ask
We
this
really
question.
couldn't tell you.
Actually, no. Let's just ask this question. Does anyone actually have that vulnerability list they published in the volunteer portal?
Wait, yes, I
Um,
have all the. Which round?
Round 3.
Oh, round
I have
3.
it.
Hey, you
For
just
platinum,
posted that,
I have
right?
it right here.
We did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
we
just
posted that.
Yeah, I'll post it again.
Yeah,
You
I
sure
think
it's that
that's.
one?
I think we can share those, and I'm only gonna say to that person is, if you remember anything that you actually have, just take the time to map it back and see what you got points potentially for that.
All right, that helped them with this question. All right, do we have any more questions?
Let's go back to the original ones that
Yeah.
we didn't
The
finish.
next one that we haven't talked about was I heard that. Oh no, we already done that one. Later in the season, teams don't earn points for setting minimum password lengths to 8 characters. Would requiring 10 characters earn points, or does CyberPatriot just stop scoring for certain features?
I think it's just that they stopped scoring.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
only
I'm pretty sure
score
that's
for
not
certain
true.
things each round.
But some of the things are getting ridiculously detailed though. Like,
Yes.
wasn't it like around round 2 or round 3? Some things are essentially worth 2 or 1 points. There's no like
Dude.
3 or 4 point questions, and
Wait,
it's
I
getting to
don't
a point where it's
think
oh my god.
we said that, but we should be avoiding that because AFA is gonna kill us.
Yeah, we don't need any
It's
Spies.
common
Really,
knowledge that it's 2 and 1 point items.
Get banned.
It's common knowledge it's 2 and 1 point items. It's not sensitive.
All right.
Yeah. One of my biggest pet peeves with CyberPatriot is they can get like oddly specific with stuff and stuff that's kind of obscure when you're like someone who actually knows security and they're like going in looking for stuff and it's kind of like yes it's vulnerable but like it's not huge. It's like the tiniest detail. For the platinum state round last year, CyberPatriot 10, there were 7 local policies that were scored. So not account policies, but regular local policies. There were 7 user auditing points issues, and 4 service auditing issues.
I'm pretty sure I actually still have everything from CyberPatriot 10 and 9. Let me look.
Let's not get yourself in trouble now.
What happened?
Let's not get him in trouble for disclosing stuff that he wasn't supposed to retain.
I'm not disclosing anything. I'm just saying I might still have it. I don't think I do though.
No, I didn't disclose anything. I disclosed the.
I didn't say disclose. I said you get in trouble for retaining it.
Oh. Well, I mean,
I never even knew that in the rule book. I didn't see that.
Next
well,
question.
apparently North Hollywood actually one person
Oh my.
said that they shared their vulnerabilities from team to team and that they've done
Well, that's
it for,
different though.
time.
That's different though. That's not retaining, or it's still retaining, but it's not like we're sharing it with other people. Though.
Why isn't Jacket in here? Literally the guy who won nationals.
Because he doesn't want to be. He's busy with
Man.
college.
He's at UCLA, so he's probably
No, he's
protesting
at
or something.
Berkeley.
Oh, never mind. I thought he was
He's at
UCLA.
BSU.
Yeah, he goes to a killer school, so let's not bother him. Ooh, FBI is on. FBI. FBI, do you have anything to say? FBI. Oh.
Matt.
FBI, open up!
Okay, let's look at the next one.
We don't have a next one. That's the thing.
Yeah, that was it.
Do any of us have questions?
Yes, we should all talk about resources.
Hoard your
CIS.
own
So,
resources and use them for your own advantage.
Until you're retired.
And yeah, until you're retired. That's what everyone does.
as one is every
Hello.
FBI's internet is too slow for voice chat. Rip.
Josh, your connection is cutting off. Can you restate that?
bloody hell. What is everyone here doing to prepare for CyberPatriot 11?
Nothing.
I can say something. I can say
Okay.
something.
Well,
I'll have you guys know that I
running
just finished
something.
my 750 line script, and it works.
I'm running
Damn,
something.
just
I'm
put
gonna
out.
You know, I wanted it's probably just as
I'm
good.
running a
That reminds me, I need to start
stream
writing mine.
of
Mine got
Ew.
deleted.
answering
get
mine
questions for
rewritten.
CyberPatriot.
Or I don't know who
Yes.
it was, but I'm gonna remind them. Someone said if they didn't go to nationals, they're shaving their head. I'm
Oh
holding
yeah,
you
I have the
accountable.
screenshot. I have the screenshot. I have the
I'm pretty sure
screenshot.
it was
You
Artie.
better shave your head.
I have a
No, don't
screenshot
do
right
that.
here.
I'm pretty sure it was Artie.
Nope, it was ITAD.
It was?
Look at check a chat, check chat. Look at chat.
Oh, good heavens.
Yeah,
Okay,
it was
now there's even more pressure on me to qualify. Honestly,
Why?
if I get a good team, I truly honestly think I can make it.
Okay, so I was looking through the rule book.
Is such a promise being made in the first place?
I was looking through the rule book. There's nothing in here about keeping old information.
Yeah, there is. I just checked it.
There's
What
everything.
is it? What is it under? What
It's like
article?
4005, I think.
Like 4005 and
Sharing
4000
national
decimal.
term is common or competitive, blah, blah, blah. Clarifies
4005, part 9.
related to the competition, including unanswered questions. I'll say it's 4005-9. I think.
Well, okay, if we're talking about like what we're doing to prepare, for me, I've been leading my team for the past 3 years, and a friend and I'm working on Windows material and Linux material, and I have a friend who's right now working on packet tracer challenges that we can all work on together. He's gonna teach. He's gonna do a little walkthrough. I'm gonna do the same thing with my images. We're gonna do that consistently. We have a Google Classroom, and we're gonna start assigning stuff like that and go through it together. That's what we're doing.
Flashbacks to the Google Classroom I made.
And how it died so quickly.
Yes.
XD.
We can just use the wiki for archiving stuff.
Yeah. And make sure you guys do the practice images that are in the resources tab, I think. Those are really good.
Do
I
the
honestly-
Cisco packet tracer labs.
Yeah.
No one knows about them, but I looked at them and they're pretty relevant. And they actually unlock the answers.
Yeah.
Wait, is there like any are there any what's it called? Scoring engines now?
Okay,
last
time-
Josh and
Public one.
Ryan are working on one right now.
Okay, yes.
And what do you call it? I think it was Jim. Jim is working. Well, he's working on an image. I'm not sure if he'll release it, but he made one in Python for Linux. There are a few other made
Ours is dead.
unnamed engines. But I mean,
There was the one I used a long time ago. I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure if the guy who. No, it doesn't look like it. So there was a guy in here that was part of a moderation staff of this one guy's scoring engine I used a long time ago. I got banned from. But anyways, long story short, there was a really good one back in the day, back in
Practice
CyberPatriot.
jump.
No.
Oh wait, it
Um.
wasn't jump.
Yeah, the jump images.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
those
my
were really
god.
good.
Those are classified now, I think. And the guy was trying to charge for them, I think.
No, he was charging you to make your own images. For his images, they were free.
And
What?
I actually private messaged him on Reddit about why he doesn't make any more images, and he told me that it became like too time consuming and like too hard to make them without
That's what
any
he told
like
me.
anything in return, right? He was spending all like that time and effort creating these high quality images, and he wasn't really receiving any payment or anything, so he kind of
No,
dismissed us.
I still have one.
It
I
won't
did end
Please
up
post
finding.
it. Please post it. Please post it.
It's already answered though. It's all already answered though.
Oh,
But
can
That's
you
fine.
you
reset
don't
it?
have the archive or anything?
That's fine. Anyways,
Okay, I did find his page where he had one Windows image. No wait,
wait.
I think it was two
All
Linux
the
images.
answers for practice jump images are online on a gist file somewhere.
Yeah, I
found,
had a couple of them, but he changed the names of them.
I found two
He's
screenshots.
actually
I'll share them here.
And
Am I allowed to share these?
yeah,
Yeah,
But
because they're not.
I got banned from the jump software fucking Cyberpatriot or this software Discord because I was too
Am I allowed
toxic.
to post the answers to like two images?
oh, were you being a gidoo?
No,
Was
no,
I
no.
being a
For
good dude?
Praxis, for Praxis.
Or are you being a guy,
Them?
dude?
I mean, they're dead end.
Ooh,
How do I get
started
started making clips? Says someone.
Here, okay,
You
I'll
choose
say,
whatever
okay, okay,
language is relevant to your operating
okay.
system.
Nitrodubs, if you're making a bash script, what you're going to do is you're going to want to open up a text editor. You're going to want to type, okay, at the very top, okay, you're going to want to type
Someone who's
in right
getting
here,
annoyed.
bin bash, and then you write everything below. Literally, like, bash is literally just the command line. So
Hey, you
that's a
can
script.
just not
Congratulations.
include that and use the bash command.
What?
I don't know if that's allowed, but that's what I use to learn to start batch
I
scripting on
remember that.
Windows.
That's old.
Hey,
That is
Oh
that is
man, that is old.
that
It
looks like
really
it could be
is.
running a MIDI file in there. As
I
the
remember that from my first year.
I never used it, but I learned it on my own. But
oh yeah, you can use Python if you want more logic handling. Like,
You
Forget
can
whitelisting.
use C++
logic to overwrite
as well.
everything.
Okay, but we're still gonna have the exact same problems.
Wait, you can do whitelisting, but you have to test it a lot. Like, I just finished, but it was super hard.
Okay, Mosey, how do you get really large in the competition? What do you mean by that? Can you please clarify?
I don't
I
think
get
you
very large in the competition.
How do you get large?
Get large.
What?
Excuse me.
Get
What?
large, guys.
I mean, I guess one could get large for sitting for 4 competitions, drinking soda for 6 hours at a time, 4 times a year.
Get large. I get
okay.
large.
Get to 100 points, get large in points.
How do you get large?
That makes
Practice,
sense.
practice, 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 practice. Practice does
What
not
he
make
said.
perfect, but practice makes good enough.
No, Josh, you
said.
gotta get large.
You gotta
What are you
do
talking
the
about?
research.
You gotta get large points, dude.
You get large, you get a lot of points.
You gotta bribe all the Cali teams that won't give you answers.
Okay, but in the interest of all the California teams, I mean, one has to admit, California and the Cyber Hub has been giving a lot of resources for everyone to use too.
Yep, that's
But
true.
it's public though, so
Where
you can
in
just Google it.
heck?
Heck!
I said heck.
No hicks or hex or fricks in my server.
Oh yeah, if you
No,
want to
no,
know if California
no
is better
bricks.
than everyone
Oh, I can't say
else,
that part.
if you want to know that California is better than everyone else, they are.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
well,
they are. I want to know
Statistically.
where
They took 10 of the open division national slots.
and they took all 3 middle school slots, and they took 7 out of 13 JRTC slots.
But
Yeah.
here's the thing. According
one of the
to
BRTC ones. No, if they weren't there, I would have been there. Screwed them.
what they said, the way they practice is they do a lot of CTFs. They have their own competition, and no host shares vulnerabilities.
Hey,
And also,
I think that's the top level team sharing to the low level teams. So like that's not helping the top level teams. At best.
Well, yeah, but that continues their
wait, does
legacy.
anyone know what Del Norte's name was?
Del Norte.
The team names, like they had like a really edgy clan name before them.
Oh, Cancer.
No, it was like before
One
that.
of
What was
them
it?
was Cancer. Yes.
I know, but like, what was like the name of the organization they were a part of? The Del
Cyber
Norte team.
Aegis.
Cyber Aegis. Oh my god. Cyber Aegis, the very first CyberPatriot clan, guys. Look at this.
They are also the most productive people.
And also, okay, so pretty like
Because
pretty
they
much,
are a student-led organization.
yeah, it's
Oh yeah,
entirely
if you
student-led.
want to know, people in California just do things themselves. The only team that has been like actually confirmed to cheat is New Mexico.
Bruh.
Okay, so if I can offer the following, okay, let's not make allegations here that could land ourselves here in hot water. Remember, it is when you say something, it can be considered as slander, libel.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're going to be saying any of this, please make sure that we have proof to back up, because at this point, God knows what happens with the rule book. They might smack us for actually saying something slanderous.
Well, they may smack the Discord server, but they won't smack me. Anytime soon.
And okay, another reason why Del Norte and like other California schools are so good is because they get like all like the seniors and all the really experienced people teaching the freshmen. So there's a constant like stream of knowledge being passed down from generation to generation. Like in this picture right here.
In 20 minutes.
The way I'm gonna go about it
halls. They have literal lecture halls.
That's hilarious.
Did someone say lecture halls?
They have lecture halls, dude.
Serious?
What?
Look at that! I'm on the Cyber Aegis website right now. It's like their website is actually really well made.
Okay, if you look at that, it's simply a.
Dude, why are we commenting on Cyber
tables.
Aegis?
Yes, but I'm looking at the image right now. It is a classroom with laptops, and the laptops don't even match too. I see an HP in there, and on the far left, I see an AC.
You know what? It's called they have organization.
Okay, here's the main issue with this website. It does not work very well for mobile. Just letting you know now.
If you want to do well, you gotta organize your team. And
well, my school wants CyberPatriot gone. So I mean,
guys! Ooh, look at this.
That's what online teams are for.
I scroll down, right? I scroll down on the Cyber Aegis website, and I see a bam, sponsorships.
Okay, well, since we're not really asking questions anymore, we're more discussing like California. Here's my question to you, Josh. What advice would you give to already seasoned competitors and new competitors when it comes to practicing?
Oh, Josh can't answer that.
Okay, there's different answers here because if I heard correctly, there's one for beginners and one for advanced people. Am I hearing that correctly? Or did you say something else?
wait, what? Are they completely changing it up this year?
No. The question was, how should more seasoned competitors and what should you do to prepare? And there's two kind of questions in that kind of point. Okay. So, for the more seasoned veterans, honestly, okay, I would actually offer that if you are to get better, you actually need to be able to actually explain and actually teach this information. And that means teaching it to the younger folks.
So
And sorry, go ahead.
yeah, so one of the things I said it earlier, what I'm doing next year, a friend and I, or my teammate, he specializes in Cisco. He's gonna be making packet tracer challenges, and what we're essentially gonna do is I'm gonna cover Windows and Linux, and we're gonna do like little walkthroughs. So we're teaching it. Teaching does help you retain information.
my name.
So you know, is that a good thing? Like that we're
No, I was laughing at something in the chat.
So, okay, so there's multiple ways to look at it, okay? The big one to see here is, number one, how do you know that you know your material? If you can actually sit down and actually give a whole lecture and actually know every single way around to that problem when someone runs into it and can explain the way how to solve it, you're very, very good at what you do. Number two, okay? You can't expect everything, but if you actually can understand and sit down and find ways of actually understanding the problem at hand, you can actually solve what's being challenged. So in essence, learning how to learn is what I would challenge next. There's a lot of people I've seen here who are fantastic at Googling, but they don't learn.
right. I see that a lot too.
It's more than the national Googling competition.
Exactly. It's not a giant Googling competition. It is literally critical thinking at its finest. You have to sit down and actually understand what the problem is. Number three, okay? Not every problem is a technical problem. And what I mean by that is, I go back to the Pinterest comment that we had earlier. You might find it actually hilarious, okay? I find it actually very insightful because I'm glad to know there's other.
I'm the one that made that comment, by the way.
Hey,
so
dude, same.
That's why I'm laughing.
I know how that feels because someone played games during my competition.
Bro, my friend fell asleep at semifinals.
Well, not only did I have that guy on Pinterest the entire time during semis, I had one of my other teammates banned from competing.
Man, maybe I should have banned my team because basically, like during CyberPatriot 9, half of my team didn't even participate. So it was literally just 3 of us.
Ouch.
And not to mention, there was one kid at our school that got caught up in too much. I can't really say it in here because we have kids watching.
Are we talking about gentleman's literature?
He would be enjoying his sweet, sweet time instead of actually showing up for competitions. And he also would do this kind of stuff during practice. And on our internal communication server, which is Slack and a Discord, we've had to ban him because he did not have an appropriate profile picture. He liked anime literature. And also...
That's
okay,
TMI.
I know where this is going. I know where this is going.
Okay, well, the point being is, okay, there's a lot of things that you have to look, okay? In this competition, you have to be mindful, okay? It's about people, it's about processes, and it's about technology. Everything has to work in harmony for you actually to be an effective team. If none of these are working, something's broken.
All right, whoever streams, do not listen to CyberPatriot Panel, please. It's something that should not be on the stream.
Okay, I'll deal with that.
Go get him, Yang. He can do it.
Ooh,
Del Norte's here.
Oh no, Del Norte is here.
Oh, we have 15 people watching. Good stuff. Who's Del Norte?
The guy that just talked.
CyberPatriot's very first ever clan.
And it's also funded by Northrop Grumman.
I like how he says gang, like he's some gangster or some crap.
I think it was ironic.
I know.
Trust me, I would say a lot more, but there's middle schoolers apparently watching.
Oh wait, is that guy actually?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
middle schoolers,
He's
if
from
you're still watching this,
0048.
middle schoolers, if you're still watching this for some reason, in very due time, you will learn to hate California, especially in high
Okay.
school.
Dude,
Okay,
middle
oh,
school is
no,
Cali
no, no, no.
Patriot.
Manager Josh, no, please.
Please don't bash California, okay? Look at it as a challenge to actually be better.
Yes.
Finally, it's getting annoying.
Hopping to the fact it's all California's fault does not help you. It's like, woe is me. Okay, you can be evil. Be my guest.
There's okay. California, in a way, their only advantage is that they're dedicated. It's all it really takes, in my eyes. If you're willing to put in the effort, like every single one of your members, if you're willing to put in the effort to research, actually show up to practice, you'll be successful. Of course, will you make the nationals? Well, that just depends.
Ooh, iMac joined.
Oh, I did.
Hey,
Oh
how was
boy!
vacation?
Oh.
Hey,
Little-
iMac, do you have any advice for people?
Sorry, I have the stream on in the background. It's really distracting me.
How about you mute it?
Yeah, I did mute it. Okay. Advice. Yeah. If you're doing scripts, make sure you keep up backups, because a lot of times you're gonna accidentally screw up your script, and you really want to make sure you have backups. Because I know I screw up my script a lot somehow, even though it's batch.
Oh yeah, just know when to nuke. Like, if you messed up something with your script.
Oh yeah, no when you need to restart it.
But don't be like 0041.
Yeah, like I spent probably 4 hours
no, no,
making a
I think
GUI on my script.
They actually just messed up a lot. That's what he said.
That's what she said.
I'm really sick right now, so if I start randomly dying, you'll know why. I got tier 3 bronchitis.
Everyone, please respect California.
Cali Patriot.
I can't respect California after that season.
Wait, iMac.
Oh boy.
Yes.
If you die, who gets control of the server?
I do.
Probably Toasty. Toasty immediately gets control. I don't care.
What if Toasty dies as well?
Okay.
Me, obviously.
Probably K9 Lego then.
What if the whole current mod team ends up just like disappearing?
Just disappeared. Well, it'll probably be Rainbow Dynamics.
He's on the mod team.
Wait. Wait. He is? Oh.
Yes.
Hey, what's up?
Probably Josh or Talon, I guess.
We can always give the server to Matthew Sams.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah,
God,
no.
Yes.
Oh, guys, so I discovered something.
Give it to the
I can
guy
take
that
the
got
pop filter
banned
off
from
my mic.
team.
Hello?
Oh shoot, Del Norte is here.
Hey, we respect your teams.
Hey,
We
Dad.
love California so much.
Give ownership of the server to the guy that we banned off of my team, please.
Wait, which one is that?
So we have all the.
Oh, I know, guys. We're giving the ownership to Autism W.
How is?
Oh my gosh, Austin W.
Yeah, Austin W.
Scuba.
Why are we on stream talking about this?
I don't know.
How is
Any questions?
CyberPatriot for you, moral will?
It's an enjoyable experience.
So the question here, I like the question here. Is there research for Cisco or for Packet Tracer? Okay. So number one, your mentors and your coaches actually have access to Netcat. They should be delegating access to you so you can actually access that. And literally, Packet Tracer is like Cisco, like Linux. Literally, it is just command line. Just run the commands, and it will run it for you.
No, there's not scripting, by the way. Don't be
I
that
was
one
in
poor
high
guy
school.
on the subreddit that asks, "Is there Cisco packet traces?"
Actually,
You
you can script Cisco.
Oh boy,
It doesn't
please
make
tell me
any
more.
sense.
You basically use auto hotkey to do it.
You can use the config. But
Okay, I mean, you can use the config, or you can just use auto hotkey to auto type
doesn't
everything.
make any sense. Though.
I know it doesn't make any sense. Or you can make shortcuts where you like have like a numpad and you hit a number and it'll automatically type a command. Oh, there's Enderman in my base. Ah!
Why
Be gone, Todd.
Minecraft?
Shut up.
Stop playing Minecraft, iMac.
Minecraft.
All right. Do you want?
Does it
me
really
to
sound
end
like I
this
have anything
stream?
better to do? Or we're ending the stream? Why? Right when I got in?
I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's going anywhere anymore. Gotta prepare for tomorrow. I think there's gonna be a lot more people here tomorrow, actually, because you know it's Saturday versus Friday.
So my question will be less.
Wait, is there gonna be a VOD of this on YouTube or something?
Yeah.
Okay, can you someone please like upload or send me the VOD so I can cut it and edit it?
Sure.
Oh, where do you get edited into?
So my question to those.
I'm going to edit it in Adobe Buddy.
So my question is to those watching: was this helpful? And if this was helpful, do you want additional sessions beyond the original 2 being planned?
Wait, where's this question at?
Directed to those who are watching. Is this actually helpful? And if it's helpful, is it worthwhile doing more than the 2 that we
If there's 10 people in this voice chat and only 10 people watching the YouTube video, there's a very high chance we are the only people watching.
Hey, you know what? It's time to stop the stream then.
Well, I'm actually not loading on the screen because I didn't want feedback.
Oh.
Alright, I gotta go do my Bible study. See you nerds later.
Bible study.
Bible study.